General Quarters.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, warshippers of all ages, welcome to Day 5 of King of the Sea here on North America. We are now at the top of the winner's bracket. These are the last two undefeated teams in the North American bracket. You are looking at ELSR and the current reigning Kings of the Sea here on North America, that is KSC. Spawning here into Sleeping Giant, ELSR and the green Zath. Talk to me about the ELSR lineup.
So I want to highlight immediately, we get to see our first Burgon of the weekend, and I'm really excited about that. He's got a typical gun-focused build there, and then we've got ourselves a Montana Sniper Spec, a Marseille, two Marseilles actually, one with reload, the second with reload as well. We've got ourselves a legendary Moskva in front of him. Heading towards the A side is a Torpedo Spec Smoke Yu Yang. We've got a Ragnar going in the middle with gun range. Another radar, radar Torpedo Spec Yu Yang. And there's that Delny that everybody was hoping to see heading towards the sea cap with a gun build. What's KSC bringing to the south, sir?
KSC opting for a lineup we've seen them field very similar before here. We're looking at Well Done's Ohio with a fairly standard, actually fairly heavily secondary kind of focused build there. Pikachu's Vermont with the same build he's been running most of the weekend that we have noticed. Out here in the mid, we have King Viper's Yu Yang, full torpedo and radar as sort of quote unquote as expected. Over here on the eastern flank, Hitaki's Brisbane. Playing behind Raiden's Yu Yang. Should be a smoke Yu Yang. Yes, it is. Not unexpected there. And then KSC going very heavy over here on the western flank. Warped Chaos's Salem with a fairly standard reload build there. Fronted by Quicksilver's Stalingrad. An RPF build there. Along with gun reload. Sate's Harugamo with the 420 Blaze It All smoke, as Zath likes to say.
Yes.
And Storm's Moskva, a unique upgrade Moskva there headed for the Titan position over at A. Now, already, Zath, you notice when you look at the lineups, a bit of a philosophical difference between these two teams because ELSR are fielding a 4-destroyer lineup versus only the 3 that KSC is fielding.
Right, and also the fact that ELSR is bringing the 2 Marseilles versus a more kind of traditional comp that KSC is bringing. Reminder, guys, KSC banning Kleber and ELSR banning Des Moines. So shots being fired already on the Delny all the way over on the 10 line there.
But it's not, as I look at this, Zath, it's not just the Marseille. It's a double Marseille and a Bourgogne. These guys clearly going to be working as a unit here as they push all the way to the 1 line. I assume that the turn south will begin momentarily, but man, that's a lot of deep water torpedoes coming in.
Yeah, so it's going to be questionable if they're going to turn south.
Oh, they don't have
first.
the range.
Nope. Or if they're going to turn north first. Looks like they're going to go south. I saw yesterday that loop game, MHG. They originally, Epoxy did a turn out and then moved south to try to fake out MHG. They didn't take the bait, though. Looks like
KSC setting up the double 12-kilometer radars here on the south side of Thunderdome.
This speaks to how much you and I both cast King of the Sea together. Like, I was just about to say the same thing.
We've been doing this a long time, my friend, a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Salem Harugamo playing wide for KSC, sort of mirrored by Professor Luger's Yu Yang. ELSR, Zath, they seem to be putting all of their eggs in this 10-line push. Am I reading the map correctly? At least it feels that way to me.
Yes, I think you are reading the map correctly. I had mentioned at the start the idea of the maneuver and then how to swing together. Look at ELSR's Moskva that I believe is currently radaring, yes. That's Hu Tao. And the thing about his position is he's set to go forward and kind of swing with everybody else in a line through the B cap. At least I have a feeling that's what they're planning on doing. We'll see what happens in the next 5 to 10 minutes.
Now, Hitaki's Brisbane, I don't think was a torpedo build. No. So that's the sort of thing that, man, you kind of wish you did have right now. KSC, I think, starting to realize what they're up against. They can see the Marseille of Apex and Bocci's Bourgogne over here. They know the Delny's here. They've spotted him on radar and beat him up with a little bit of fire between now and then. Now Quincy's Ragnar trying to pick up B.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the other Marseille too. Steven's Marseille was detected earlier. So
yeah, they know those guys are over there.
Yep, so we have a bit of a destroyer staring contest going down right now as Viper is forced forward.
Does this feel a little bit to you like, remember once upon a time, Zath, you and I used to call games with the big wall of steel, right? The line of Stalingrads and Moskvas moving across the map. When you see this kind of Burgonia-Marseille push, do you get kind of the same sense, the same feeling?
Yes, it's the wall of France as Circun Rin Delny. Oh, catastrophic hits there. Goes down.
Wow.
To the
Turning
Brisbane
into the
Torps.
Brisbane Torps, almost the exact same instant that Stevens Marseille takes a big hit. I think, yeah, that has to have been from Pikachu's Vermont. I don't think there's any way that Well Done could have made that shot at 30-something kilometers.
Yeah, oof. So that's going to slow down ELSR's push quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Quite a bit. Now the big question then is, what do you do if you're KSC at this point? Obviously, you haven't won the game yet.
Oh, not remotely. Pikachu getting heavily focused. He's burning through one of his heals. He's got several to go still, but he's already half HP, and it's not like he can escape this French push on, 25 knots or whatever Vermont has. It's bad.
You got the slowest ship in this game being chased by the fastest ships in this game.
You pretty much nailed it right there.
Uh-oh. 42 seconds left on his DCP.
Still trying to keep Quincy from capping B. They're not going to manage it this time, and I think King Viper's going to go out here, getting tag teamed by 2 destroyers. He can't escape Little Busters' Yang, and now the Marseilles are chiming in.
Yeah, and that's going to be crucial because it might even give Pikachu a chance to live. But I'm sure they're like, yeah, we'll just finish him later, no big deal. I agree with going after Viper first.
Viper basically just stopping, trying to get what damage he can on Little Busters. Knowing he's dead, trying to trade his ship as dearly as possible.
Mm-hmm. And vomiting as many deep waters as possible in the process.
He literally just vomited as many deep water torpedoes as he could, and some of them went by Busters, so there's at least the inkling that those are out there. Pikachu does manage to get away and go dark on about 30,000 HP down here.
Now he's lit again. I think he fired just now.
Now, KSC, I think, has finally realized that sitting around the A-cap was not going to be their way to victory. They've pushed through now. Well done, Warp Chaos, Sate moving directly up the 1-2 line. The Moskva Storm holding, but Quicksilver Slash's Stalingrad turning around to go try and blunt this push coming down the 10 line.
And that's what I was mentioning earlier. When the Delny's gone, KSC's got to think, all right, we've won the A-cap. Where do we go next? On this particular map, I have seen nothing but failure out of ships that go into the Thunderdome. So you notice how KSC's like, nope, we're not touching that. That's like the new Bermuda Triangle. So
with no cap there, what's the advantage? Why trap yourself in there, right?
Right. If you need to shoot the other side of the map, perhaps, but that's about it.
Big hits from Stevens Marseille here on Quicksilver's Stalingrad. The Stalin turning into these deepwater torps he can't possibly know are here because, of course, Stalin doesn't have access to hydro.
Yeah, feels bad. There's a torpedo hit.
He's going to take one in the stern, way more coming in. This is probably the end of Quicksilver, or at least it's going to really hurt. The Burgonia AP's coming in now. I'm sure Apex's Marseille. There's more AP.
Speed up into 2 torpedoes and
He's going to take 2 more, and there he goes.
So, literally, KSC just rotated him and lost him. Right away.
Unfortunate, you're bringing back a ship with no hydro into torpedoes that he barely can detect, and that's what makes a huge difference right there because he takes 3 of them. 9 minutes gone. It's a 250-point lead and growing for ELSR on the strength of their cap advantage and early kills. KSC not out of this yet, though. They've probably got the opportunity to pick up some kills of their own if they continue to make smart plays and pushes. I want to believe up this 1-2 line, but man, I don't know. Where are you gonna get them?
Well, Hu Tao just radared. Sate has been detected in the Haragumas. They're trying to get him closer. The question is, how is Well Done's Ohio going to fare? We have some sustained fire on him now. He's been forced to turn back around. I'm sure he knows there's deep water torpedoes coming his way from Luger's Yu Yang.
I will say that the Brisbane and the Yang over here playing the bottom end of the map for KSC have been doing a really good job of at least whittling down these French ships, right? Both Marseilles have taken a noteworthy amount of damage and are burned through at least 2 heals. In fact, Steven is down to his last one. It's 70 seconds away when he finally gets around to it.
Well, and the other thing that's worth of note, too, is they kited to the corner, and they didn't go all the way with Pikachu. They actually turned around. And you can see ELSR saying, you know what, we don't really want any of this.
Well, there's no need for them to keep pushing. This is one thing that I think we sometimes don't see out of teams that execute pushes like this, which is, when do I stop? ELSR achieved their goal here, right? They picked up a kill. They have solid control with the B cap the C cap. No one's going to get into B with Hutao's Moskva there. So, and they have a 300-point lead. Why keep pushing? There's no need.
I think the crucial difference, and this might be, we'll find out in 9 minutes, but I think the crucial factor here is that Pikachu survived. He's back at 53,500 hit points with another heal, last one, at the ready. So, unfortunately, that death of King Viper's Yu Yang allows Pikachu to still be in this game.
It's only going to matter if they can keep him alive now. If his guns become impactful. Hitaki's Brisbane picking up little busters now on radar. Shogun's gonna pitch in here. They need to convert this kill while they can see busters, but they're barely even touching him here.
And while that's going on, Sate up to the north and Warp Chaos have been detected all the way up at the B12 area, and shells are coming in on both of them. If Sate goes down, that blunts KSC's attempt to push around this corner.
Sate's dark for the moment as Warp Chaos's radar is picking up Professor Luger's Yang. Luger wandering within. Oh my God, Sate!
Wow.
Just getting hammered right there. At the same time, on the other side of the map, Hitaki goes down to a Marseille salvo.
That's right. Sate's in trouble.
He's on 100 HP. Now, he wasn't lit back there. How did they find him?
He was lit.
Oh, he must have fired his guns or something.
Guns. Yeah, he was trying to kill
He wasn't on radar.
He was trying to kill Luger. And now Warp Chaos is going to take a deep water torpedo for his trouble.
Yep. It's pretty much all over here, Zath. I don't see... I mean, there's just no way for KSC to get back into this now.
Well, maybe.
I mean, how are you going to do it? Tell me. You've got 30 seconds. Make the call.
Everybody hit W.
There you go.
That's right. That's right.
They managed to keep Pikachu alive, but ELSR pushed his guns out of the fight for so long that he's just now starting to kind of get back to relevance, and he can't see anything.
Yeah. Pikachu, I think, cut it away a little bit too far there and allowed, essentially, for the that smoke screen combo of the Brizzy and the Yu Yang to get themselves, focused. Eventually, Brizzy goes down, and there's game one.
Wow. Solid win from ELSR, Zath. That heavy French push, doing what it needed, getting up that early lead, and then all they have to do is keep those ships alive, and it's not easy to kill a Marseille if he doesn't make a mistake.
Right you are, Raptor. Well, let's head back to the studio and see what our awesome hosts have to say.
Battle starts.
All right, everybody, welcome to Game 2 of our best of 5 matchup, KSC versus ELSR. Back again at it in King of the Sea, this time King of the Sea 15. And, Raptor, why don't you tell us a little bit about KSC's lineup?
All right, KSC fielding a very similar lineup to last time. We're seeing Pikachu's Vermont again. Well done swapping out of the Ohio, picking up a Kremlin this time. He and Pikachu trying to figure out how they're going to get past each other here for the moment. Starting on their left flank, we'll have looked at Warp Chaos's Des Moines. That is, we've got a radar mod in there and a unique upgrade for the engine shenanigans. John the Impaler and Stalingrad going reload and top grade gunner. Storm's Moskva going unique module there and also top grade gunner. And another Des Moines, Hitaki's Des Moines over here, also sticking with top grade gunner and going for the unique upgrade there in slot 6. KSC running a 3 destroyer lineup. That's Raiden's gearing. This is not a full torpedo build. He's running RPF with the torpedo in slot 6, unique upgrade in 5, and then the smoke and engine boost there in slots 2 and 3. King Viper's Grozovoy headed to mid, running that unique Grozovoy upgrade. We talked about that one yesterday. That turns Grozovoy into almost a dedicated gunboat. And then over here on the left, I'm guessing Sate's gearing build is going to be very similar. Yes, nearly identical to the one on the other flank. Talk to me, Zath, about the ELSR lineup.
It feels like KSC's got a few builds that they've kind of shared around, huh? And we said unique quite a bit. Now, there's actually one unique upgrade you missed. Take a look at the Kremlin. Well done. Is using that unique upgrade as well. That decreases decreases his range, but increases main battery reload.
Better reload.
Yep. All right, so let's take a look over at ELSR's lineup. In the front, heading towards ACAP, is Quincy's Marceau, running basically all speed and gun, which you'd expect. Hutao and Habarovsk was mentioned earlier, almost like he was listening to, I think that was Bogsy mentioning that. We've got ourselves another speed and gun build ship. Yeah, he's using heal, of course. And then followed by that is another speed and gun Ragnar. I'm sensing a theme here. And a Z42, which sadly doesn't really have the speed, but it's got the guns. Quick reminder, KSC banning Kleber and ELSR banning the Brisbane. We've got a Stalingrad that's range built, heading towards... Well, we saw this before. Remember that Stalingrad that survived on like 200 hit points? Yeah, he's going right there.
Yeah, probably is. Yep.
And a sniper spec Montana. Note, ELSR did not do anything in the middle of the cap, so at some point, KSC will suss that out and just walk forward into it. On the extreme...
Well, they didn't yet, but look at this destroyer Wolfpack already rotating to mid.
Yep. On the extreme other side, we've got Little Buster 4's Yu Yang, torpedo spec, of course, with Sates Gearing saying, "Oh, hello, Yu Yang Torps." We've got ourselves a sniper spec Ohio, and finally a unique upgrade Des Moines of their own for ELSR. As you mentioned, yep, there's that Wolfpack heading back to the B cap. Hutao detected now on Storm's radar.
Yep, Storm's radar going up here. I think just for a little bit of information, they wanted to have an idea. I mean, when you look across, ELSR running a 5-destroyer lineup, and remember, last game they ran in with 4, I believe. Was that right? Yeah. So, I mean, going very destroyer heavy here, and KSC deciding this time they wanted to have a better sense of where these guys had deployed. They can now see all 4 of those destroyers in the Wolfpack. Moskva caught just a glimpse of them there as the radar expired.
That's right. So from KSC's perspective, they've got to wonder, are there any other ships over on this flank?
Well, they have to know there's somebody on the flank. They also know exactly where Luger is. They know his Hydro is probably up, which means that Raiden has to be very cautious about how he approaches the A cap. Both teams now picking up a cap. 4 minutes gone. 60 point, 60 point lead here for ELSR just because they were onto A so quickly.
Right, C-Cap now being flipped, Sate detected on radar. Warp Chaos trying to detect Buster's Yu Yang, there it is. And John the Impaler has some deep water torpedoes coming for his Stalingrad.
Yep, those are going to go by Sate, so John will have a little bit of warning, but not too terribly much. KSC does manage to grab C, but with 3 destroyers descending upon B, you almost have to wonder if they're gonna just Wolfpack this. Although, Zath, you know what I'm thinking? Look at Well Done's Kremlin. Who's gonna defend him from this Wolfpack if they want to go after him?
That's a very good question. If I'm King Viper, that's the problem, right? Because I would imagine KSC wants to pull the Grozavoy out of danger, but they can't.
There
now.
he is. They know exactly where Well Done is. Now the Wolfpack starts to hit him with the guns. He goes in with the HE. He had the HE in the barrel ready to go.
Yeah, they knew the destroyers were going to be spotted.
Oh, yeah. Taking big chunks out of the Marceau. Seems like they're going to focus probably the Marceau early, knowing that he can't recover any HP they get off of him.
You know, I'm really surprised that ELSR decided to sit and open up with their guns instead of use the islands to sneak up on the Kremlin.
Warp Chaos. Ugh. Warp Chaos getting absolutely hammered over here on the 9 line. Not sure how he got so low, but he tried to turn into the island and took Des Moines AP in the broadside for his trouble.
Well, let's take a look at Well Done's guns. Nope, he wasn't shooting them yet, huh? No, I think he did. I think Well Done did get a salvo off, because it looked like his guns are returning back.
He can't shoot his own teammate. The Ohio must have shot him, I'm guessing.
Oh, you're right. Apologies. Never mind.
That's okay. That's all right. Well Done cruising right into this C-cap now. The ELSR in the lead on the strength of that early kill. Gap is narrowing. KSC owns more board. Owns more real estate, I should say.
Yeah. But Well Done's position in the Kremlin, though, that's going to be problematic for ELSR here.
I gotta say, Zath, this Des Moines gearing position on the 1 line feels very, very dangerous to me. Like, these guys are very hung out over here.
As does Pikachu's Vermont position relative to Luger's Z42. I wonder if he's thinking something here.
I will say this. The Z42 torpedoes are weak enough. I do not believe he can one-shot Pikachu. I could be wrong, but I don't believe they are. German torpedoes in general tend to be less impactful. The other thing is Pikachu's not lit right now. They don't seem... Do they even know he's there? They do not. They have no idea. They know he was in that gap, but they don't know exactly where to look for him right now.
Right, and Luger's Hydro's down for another 40 out seconds.
Yep, Luger has no Hydro, so Pikachu able to make this maneuver for the moment unseen.
Deepwater's coming on a Well Done's Kremlin.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. He's trying to reverse out of here. They're obviously trying to focus him. He knows that Buster is over there. He's trying to get narrow. He has to at least suspect these guys are coming.
Oh, they're on radar. He knows they're coming.
Radar?
Yeah, John the Impaler just radared.
Yeah, the radar won't pick up the torpedoes, though.
No.
So he takes one in the bow. The Wolfpack now looking like it's trying to farm out the Stalingrad over here north of C. And he's trying to get better cover.
Well, they can certainly do that. Quincy, though, rotating around in the Marceau. Obviously, the weakest right now with health. Got to get in the back of the pack.
Have had a lead change now. KSC has finally worked their cap advantage into about a 10-12 point lead here and continuing to grow. They can see Luger. I'm not sure. Oh, the Des Moines Raiders got him lit. Trying to get they can't get shells on him from there though. He's so tight to the island, the shells will simply not fall in, and Luger refuses to move. They know exactly where Pikachu is, so Luger is just weathering the fire, hunkering down. His Hydro is up. Raiden looking like maybe he has a very narrow window that he can get in here. He does. So are we waiting on the Stalingrad radar is down. So Raiden has the opportunity to cap this out from outside of Luger's Hydro radius.
Raptor, look over at C.
Oh, well,
look at this. Look at this Des Moines.
They're just wow, the balls on this Des Moines.
Yeah.
Tangling with a Kremlin at point blank range. Yes, ELSR up 2 ships, but off all the caps for the moment. We'll have to see how they decide to play it. I have to believe they're going to push the C cap because that's where the Wolfpack is.
I mean, that would make sense, right? Just kill John, farm him down. That shouldn't take too long. You got Buster's 4 with the Yu Yang, even trying to help out with the smoke there to preserve some HP.
Storm's Moskva radar over here today, picking up Luger, who's clinging to the edge of the cap. That's at least going to push him out of the cap. He's caught now between the Des Moines of Hatake on the edge of the map and King Viper's Grozovoy right in front of him. I guess he figures, well, screw it. If I'm going to get radar, I might as well go into the cap and at least work on that. Oh, okay. He reversed back to make sure he didn't take any of his torpedoes.
Right.
There goes the radar. Yep, there's the Wolfpack now moving on to C. The Little Busters is Yu Yang as they're continuing to try and farm out John Stalingrad. Obviously, KSC can't hold this flank anymore.
No, and you can see John changing his orientation as a result.
Yep.
He's already set to try to W out of here.
Yeah, but
Sate helping to smoke him.
Sate's going to smoke him up. Do they have a radar in this? They got the Ragnar. It is available. It's going to be a question of... Yep,
There's
okay, there comes the Des Moines.
Radar.
The Des Moines radar as well. Losing control of A to Luger. Go ahead.
What this does, though, is actually gives ELSR the opportunity to reset their destroyers and decide how they want to approach the Stalingrad. And you can see
it's true.
You can see the result of that. Busters is moving through the middle of the channel now to get in front. Misakura's Rin's Ragnar and Hutao's Haba are moving behind him. They're just gonna trap John. He's at 5,000 and falling.
Yeah, John's continuing to burn out here. The HE just absolutely taking its toll. Still caught under this Des Moines radar that seemingly never ends. Des Moines now chipping in his shells. John putting up his radar.
There goes, and what we're going to see now is Sate get trapped.
And now Sate is completely trapped here now, caught by the Ragnar radar with a Des Moines in front of him, nowhere to hide. All he can try and do is perhaps weather the shells or trade his ship for something, but I don't mean... There's no way he's going to get torpedoes on this Des Moines. He's going to try, of course. He's trying to guard his torpedo tubes. Makes the turn.
He's got him off.
He does get one. He gets one rack in. He gets both racks into the water. Steven's gonna take one out. Nope. Just the one.
Brilliant maneuvering.
Just like that, it's a 150-point lead for ELSR as they're up 3 ships. They do finally, KSC does finally bag Luger's Z42.
Mm-hmm.
Almost feels like maybe they should have pushed him sooner, Zath, but I think maybe they hadn't realized it.
I don't think they were properly set. The concern was the Stalingrad to the south and the power that cruiser projected.
Yep. Now Pikachu seems to be the next farm target here. The Marceau going in. You have to believe that, well, there's no need for the Yu Yang to chip in just yet, but he will eventually, I'm sure.
Yeah. I think they want to keep the Yu Yang dark just to assure hit the cap, and that's a little bit more insurance for ELSR.
Yeah, 100%. Pick up the cap and then worry about the rest. Now, it looks really, really, really bad for KSC right now. I think they're about to pick up the Stalingrad. They do.
Mm-hmm.
That gets them back some points. They are going to be able to pick up A. If they can bag a couple of big kills at the right time, both teams now just about to touch 800 points. It becomes a game that, the wrong destroyer maneuver at the wrong time could potentially cost ELSR the game still. So KSC's not out of this yet, even though it looks pretty awful.
Shots on Storm's broadside Moskva from the Montana. He thought he was safe there. Oof, he got lucky. That could have been a lot worse.
Because the Marceau and the Yang are kind of caught out down here. They're trying to farm out the Montana while Pikachu, 2 seconds from his next heal, he'll be able to get to it, trying to get to cover.
Yeah. Meanwhile, ELSR's Montana being farmed out by Des Moines. They're just mercilessly pumping AP shells into his side.
Yep, they are indeed. Pikachu just got too many shells falling here. His heel's ticking.
Looks like we're seeing a Wrath of Khan maneuver here hereafter.
Little bit of that, right? As everybody wraps this island here on the bottom edge of the A cap. It's a 70-point lead for ELSR and growing. They're going to clean up Storm here, it looks like. There he goes. We're now 30 seconds from an ELSR win here in Game 2, as their Wolfpack has basically just run all over the board and done whatever it wanted.
They've just run amok, absolutely. Now look at Raiden Shogun. He's proxy detected now. He's going for it. I mean, you might as well.
His torpedoes are down. He fired them a minute ago. I don't know. I guess we'll see. The Montana's not even looking. 7 seconds, 5 seconds. It's not going to matter.
No.
The game's going to end before he gets the opportunity. Wow. The Wolfpack does its job. KSC has no answer.
No, it's interesting, at the top of the stream, there was a mention, I think it was from Bozzy, saying KSC is the masters of being knocked into the loser bracket and then returning. Was he setting us up for this very moment?
I don't know. We're not there yet.
No, not yet.
Because
how
many times did we watch other teams lose their first 2 in the finals and come back for the reverse sweep? We saw 07 do it at least twice. So
that's right. This is a best of 5
I don't write
after
anybody.
all.
It's exactly right. You play all 5 games for a reason. I don't write anybody out.
All right. Well, let's send it back to the booth and see what they have to say.
Battle starts.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 3 of this winner's bracket final here on North America, King of the Sea 15, as we spawn into Loop. Zath, the ELSR is here in the green. What are they bringing in for this game?
Oh boy, what are they bringing in?
Oh boy.
Oh boy. So we have ourselves a Sniper Spect Ohio. An incomparable. We saw this ship yesterday. If I remember right, the team that brought it didn't win. But in any case, there we go. And what else do they have? They got ourselves a gun build Marceau, a range build Des Moines, unique upgrade torpedo, smoke spec gearing, Ragnar going off towards the middle of the map with range, a range mod Stalingrad, a unique upgrade Moskva, looking like he's going to kite all the way back up at the B2, B3 area. And filing up, we have a radar Yu Yang that's torpedo spec. What do we have for KSC?
KSC on the bottom end of this map has faced incomparable before. The match you're referring to yesterday was that game against No Cap they played on Sleeping Giant. No Cap sending that lone incomparable to hold like the eastern half of the map themselves in a game that they almost came back to win. KSC sticking with Pikachu's Vermont, same build we've been seeing. Well done now in an Ohio, or I should say back in an Ohio.
Yeah.
Looks like a very, same kind of secondary focused-ish build that we saw previously. Joining him here, headed to the east, is Hitake's Des Moines in a unique module upgrade configuration. Quicksilver's range mod Napoli. Sate's gearing, which is torpedo build there in upgrade 6, unique in slot 5, and running both engine boost and smoke. Storm's Salem, moving here to the south of the central cap with a reload build. Viper's Z42 here, working in tandem with him. As all the way over here in the B cap, we have Raiden's gearing. Again, same build as we saw on the other side of the map. And Warped Chaos's Des Moines. Yep. No, he's actually gone to outnumbered this time rather than top grade gunner. So small change there.
That could signal he's planning on being on the kite side along with Pikachu.
Yep. KSC not wasting a lot of time. Both teams grabbing their quote-unquote home gimme caps. Z42 taking a very aggressive line here into C, now touching the cap as they're using the Salem radar to try to zone Quincy out of here. King Viper's Hydro's up. He can see these torpedoes coming, so he should be able to dodge them. As there, the Stalingrad radar is going to pick him up.
Yep, and Quincy's going to get some shelves of his own back at King Viper, I think. Oh, no, he's actually able to back off. He'll be fine.
Opting not to fire. So Viper basically, the Stalingrad radar almost feels, okay, no, we got shells coming in from the Ohio here on, they're coming in on Storm Salem for a solid hit.
Look at Quincy. Quincy's going to take one torpedo.
He takes
two torpedoes.
He takes two big hits here into the Ragnar, who does have heals, but he's only going to be so much of that he can recover.
That's right.
Well, they haven't killed the Ragnar, but they've definitely put him to the point where he cannot get into too many gunfights. Right. Viper's going to get back onto C and pick that cap up. In a moment, KSC will be ticking out to an early lead.
And just like last game, remember, Kleber, Brisbane, banned.
Now, Zath, I would almost expect to see ELSR pushing down the one line. Marseille is a pushing ship, but is Incomparable a pushing ship? She's never felt that way to me as soft as she is.
I wouldn't consider her to be a push ship. I'd consider her to be a flank ship. So it is interesting to see the two of them together, along with a Des Moines. I'm curious to see how they're going to form this up, because the other side is clearly the kite side, the way they've got the Moskva. Wait.
Yeah.
Look at how the Moskva Stalingrad are pointed. It looks almost like they are expecting KSC to push up the one line with the Yu Yang. They're set to receive over there.
Yeah.
So
they're absolutely set to receive a push to A that doesn't look like it's not gonna come.
No, both sides are set to receive over on the 1-2 line. And they're going to receive nothing.
They're going to receive a whole lot of long-range shells from the other team, and that's going to be about the end of it.
Right.
So I think most of the early action is going to be focused well over here on the 10 line.
Especially now with Quincy's Ragnar taking those hits. He's still somewhat viable, but he's got to stay a little bit more cautious than I'm sure he wanted to.
He's only got one more heal to go. He's going to be able to claw his way back to approximately half his total health pool, but that's all he'll get for the rest of the game. Those 2 torpedo hits making a huge dent in his available health early on.
Speaking of torpedo hits, Busters takes one in the face as well.
Right on the nose. KSC getting quite fortunate with some of these early torpedo hits against ELSR destroyers.
That is almost disastrous for that entire side of the map. The 2 destroyers, Ragnar and Gearing, taking towards, and then here's Stevens Des Moines.
He's got his Hydro up. Is he still going to take one?
He's okay.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That was close. On my end, it looked like some pretty bad desync. I don't know how you saw that, but...
No, when I saw his Hydro was up, I pulled the camera back like, there's no way. Maybe I should have known better, but I was like, nah.
Anything can happen.
All right, now, they have to know that Busters took a torpedo, but they've got no way to spot it. They got no way to get up there and to pick up that kill without potentially risking Hitake or Sate. Although Hitake and Sate now turning north up over here on the map border, maybe they sense an opportunity.
I don't understand what Quicksilver's doing with this Napoli area. He's got his smoke on and he's reversing. He got detected, obviously, but...
He's trying to stay dark as long as possible. He knows if he reverses too far, Quincy will be able to see him. They're also, notice that they're bringing King Viper over. He's left the middle of the board completely. So I think maybe maybe they'll bring his smoke over for Quicksilver or bring him over to contest the decap.
All right, Incomparable's guns are fired in anger for the first time.
Yeah, but Quicksilver weathers that fire decently as the Des Moines fire starts to take its toll on the Incomparable as well.
Yep, and guess what? More torpedoes on their way. Although I don't think any of those will be as impactful this time.
No, I think all those torpedoes are going to fall well astern to the targets. You can already see the Incomparable down to half HP. He hasn't popped one of his fancy heals yet. Not running Superintendent here. But getting absolutely hammered.
There's the heal.
There's the heal. You knew it had to come. He's now only got to deal with Quicksilver and Viper, although Storm Salem now pitching in as well. Even after the heal, he's going to be under half health. I think they can pick up this kill, Zath.
Yeah, the Marseille
In fact,
is following
I was going to
suit
say,
and
the
getting
Marseille,
slapped.
he slowed down because the Incomparable slowed down. But when he slowed down, the Des Moines started punishing him, and bam! Well done, moves up and secures the kill on the Incomparable. It's a 240-point lead here. We're barely 8 minutes in for KSC.
Yeah, and now Caesar is almost penned in from the dying hulk of this Incomparable.
Caesar's absolutely pinned in. He's got torpedoes coming in. He can
take
do nothing about. He's going to take one on the broadside there for 10K. It's only seconds till they pick up that kill, too. Oh,
well done, Ohio. Nope.
All the Ohio shells went into the island, but they grabbed that kill as well.
2 dying ships over here. Plus, Well Done's going to take a couple torpedoes for his trouble.
Buster's now retreating. Buster's is actually inside the Des Moines radar radius. Hatake doesn't know that necessarily, although he is spotted. He has to suspect.
Yeah, I like the idea, though, of playing it a little bit safe here, just to make sure. I think they want to get all their pieces in play first.
While that drama's been going on, Zath, have a look at C. ELSR has not been idle.
Yep. The reception didn't happen. There's no push, so now they've just all hit W. They're making their way down.
They realized that most of the KSC forces were not going to be coming to them at A, so they rotated the Ohio back to mid. Storm can't keep them out of this cap, so they are going to pick up C here. But they're down nearly 400 points, and we're not even to the halfway mark of the game.
Yeah. I just don't see a way back in for ELSR here.
They're going to have to get some. They're going to have to pick up some kills. If they can secure a kill on Well Done or Quicksilver, then maybe the situation changes. And I think Storm has a place he can retreat to, right? He can always duck back through this little gap off his stern, and continue to move, and not get punched out. Hopefully.
Right.
The Moskva and the Yu Yang also pushing down the 1 and 3 lines, respectively. A little surprised to see this. I guess ELSR has just said, well, drive forward until they're dead, boys.
I mean, it makes sense. You see all the KSC assets now being pulled over to the 9-10 line, so you know they're going to be a little bit thin.
Right.
The opportunity for a surprise or something.
They caught a look at Quincy and shaved another 5,000 HP off of him. Storm's next radar is too far away for them to bag this kill right now. Oshi's Ohio still coming. Go.
Yeah. Warp Chaos is Des Moines is detected now on Luger's Yu Yang radar. Unfortunately for ELSR, Ohio is behind the island, can't shoot back at Warp Chaos's Des Moines.
No opportunity to take advantage, although the Moskva shells coming in on his starboard side hit him pretty hard.
Yep.
He's going to have to reverse that turn.
Yep. Warp Chaos was not prepared for that. He's going to take some more Citadels here.
And he is. He's pinned now between the Stalin and the Moskva with nowhere to run. The smoke is behind him. Raiden can't help him.
That's right.
Now,
this is why you push together down.
Stalingrad might be showing him a little too much broadside as well. Check this out, Zath. Yeah. He's getting some good hits here on the Stalin.
Well, there's a return Citadel.
Well, they're going to pick up this kill.
Yeah, Misakura doesn't want to go too much farther because he's concerned, obviously, about Pikachu's Vermont.
Yeah. Warp Chaos is going to die here. We're 25 seconds on the timer, but there's the time extension. There's the time extension. Yes, ELSR buys themselves about another 30, 40 seconds here.
Well, Hutao's
trying
about
to find a way. Go ahead.
He's about to step into
He's
the
gonna get on the
B cap.
B.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Look at Storm. Storm might be in trouble if Bocce's Ohio can move farther forward.
Are his guns looking that way? They're trying to put Bocce out because of how low he is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Bocce's under 7K. He's got a heal coming.
Nope.
But he doesn't survive to get there. We're now 30 seconds from a KSC win. They're going to win on the strength of just the decap. And there's no way for ELSR to get to that cap at all.
No.
Well, if you're KSC, your lowest ship is the Napoli, and nobody's going to have shots on him unless he makes a mistake.
This is GG. We're going on to game 4.
They've got radar on Quincy to see if they can pick up this kill, but they don't need it. Game's going to end right there. Mm-hmm. There it is. KSC with a game 3 win.
Fantastic battle, both sides. You know, one of the things I was thinking about in regards to at the top of the stream, talking about the preparation the teams play and all that, you know, there's really 3 factors that come into this. There's the strategy, there's the skill, and then there's the luck. And we saw luck shine on KSC in this battle with 2 really impactful torpedo salvos hitting 2 different ELSR destroyers.
You did, Zath, but it's notable that, okay, so you didn't pick, but those 2 ships are still alive at the end of the game, but it does radically force them to play differently. They cannot be aggressive anymore.
That's right.
So it changes, you know, as a destroyer taking those early torpedoes, even if you live through it, you have to be much more cautious. It's a completely different game you're allowed to play at that point. KSC, I think, really solid strategy. ELSR reacting quickly, right? Once they realized what was happening, you saw how quickly they were like, all right, go. Get to A, get to C. They're mostly at D. But by then, KSC able to convert some kills and hang on for the win.
Right, you are, Raptor. That was an incredible game 3. Can't wait to hear what our folks back at the studio have to say.
Battle starts.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Game 4. ELSR versus KSC. ELSR in the lead. This is a best of 5 series, and I personally am very, very hopeful we get to game 5 because that's my baby Islands of Ice. But we got to get through this game first. Let's take a look. Raptor, what's going on with ELSR?
All right, ELSR bringing a Montana and a fairly typical American style build there, running both artillery plotting mods. Going for he's running a bit of survivability there with the fire prevention. But he's also, what's that goofy talent that when he's on fire, he gets reload, Zath?
That's called Furious, sir.
There
Furious.
we go. Interesting to see that coupled with fire prevention, but I guess he doesn't want to die, so fair enough. Married to a St. Vincent in a much more standard style of build. Let's see. Over here we got Hutao's Marseille. He's running outnumbered to go with a concealment and reload. We got double double Marseille. Where's the other Marseille? There we go. That's Apex. He is running almost the same build. He actually has the heavy AP skill in there. Stevens Brisbane, concealment, RPF, gun reload. Yep, not a torpedo build Brisbane. We've seen a few of those around. And last but not least, that leaves us with Ms. Sakura's Stalingrad, which is a range and RPF Stalin. He's actually lit right now. Maybe some shells coming in. Harugamo is the fancy unique upgrade there with the crazy smoke. Quincy's Delny, a fairly standard build there. Reload, gun reload, and heal. And that just leaves us with Professor Luger's Daring here. Again, gun reload, RPF, all the standard stuff. Talk to me about KSC, Zath.
All right, well, let's take a look. Opposing to the South, KSC looking to tie this up with the win here on North. All the way up towards the A side, we've got ourselves a torpedo spec, smoke spec, gearing. Heading, actually kind of a consumable spec. Heading out towards A side with Ataki Yoshi's Brizzy right in tow. That is a almost full torpedo spec. Interesting to see all the torpedo skills and then gun slot. But in any case, Quicksilver coming up behind with really a gun spec Brizzy. So we got 2 Brizzies in tow behind the gearing. All the torpedo spam at A, along with Pikachu's Vermont. We've seen that quite a bit. King Viper now detected by Stalingrad radar in the middle. Z42 standard build, Moskva middle, what we expect to see with unique upgrade. Actually, he's a little bit more towards the seaside. Sate's now undetected and being shot at by Godu Hitori's Montana. Resets.
Oof.
Yeah.
A little bit of hit, a little bit of chip damage there. Nothing catastrophic, but a solid
Nope.
hit.
And he's in a 420 Blaze It All Hargamo, which is interesting considering he's nowhere near Warped Chaos Asylum. But I have a feeling they want to grab the cap and then they want to rejoin those two for a push up the 910 line. Salem, gun build, and Well Done's Ohio is sniper with... Actually, no, it's more of a jack of all trades spec. Give me all the damage, secondaries, and main battery.
Now, we haven't seen a lot of Brisbane in this series. Brisbane has been banned the last 2 games, but it's not banned this game. Des Moines is on the ban list. So KSC taking advantage of that, taking 2 Brisbanes here.
Yeah, with lots of torps coming into that typical smoky smoke spot. Steven's got to take one here.
Hatake's Brisbane, both Brisbanes coming under a tremendous amount of Marseille and St. Vincent AP fire. Boy, look how bold these guys are. They're way, way into this cap and smoke, Zath.
Yeah, here comes some cross shots from Montana. That does some damage.
Yeah, it does. Quicksilver getting hammered back there.
Quicksilver's going to have to think about that one as the clear push here. This is basically, can torpedoes hold off the faces of 5 opponents? Sorry, 6.
So far, it feels like they threw their torpedoes in the wrong place. They tried to torpedo the Brisbane in the smoke, but almost feels like they should be trying to torpedo the Marseille St. Vincent push that is coming straight down their throat. Hatake taking a torpedo right there.
Yes.
Radar going up. Vermont Shell's now seeking Stevens Brisbane in the smoke.
King Viper also at B taking some pretty big hits. And look at Storm. Storm's Moscow fixing to go up that channel.
Yeah, I think that KSC, one of the things that KSC realized in the first 2 games is that ELSR seemingly tends to play very quickly, very aggressively, and if you don't respond to that, like within the first few minutes of the match, once you get a sense of what they're doing, you will regret it. And so I think what we're seeing here is KSC responding. They're like, okay, the guys at A, pull back. You will not win that flank right now. Just keep moving, keep retreating. The guys at C, it's time to find your engines and get moving.
That's right.
Viper's in trouble. Look at the 4 line.
Oh, yeah. I've been watching him. He came out right next to Luger. Made a Zinky, but he's under radar from Rin Stalingrad.
Yep. Stalingrad radar's got him, and when that goes away, the Brisbane radar will be up. So Viper's probably going to go down here.
It's unfortunate as, there goes Raiden Shogun now trying to get in front of the Brizzies so that he can smoke, but torpedoes coming in too. He's all right for now.
Already, the 2 Marseilles and St. Vincent have flipped, Zath. They accomplished what they wanted on this flank. They pushed KSC back. And now let's see what they decide to do as they reposition here. Both teams sticking up a cap. ELSR up a ship here. 6 minutes gone.
The hardest part about kiting away is knowing when to stop kiting. And so the decision to make that change, remember, North is a smaller map compared to the other ones we've seen. You can absolutely play that game of maneuver.
Well, you see Raiden not smoking, so obviously KSC has realized that maybe they don't have to keep moving. They watched ELSR do this with the Wolfpack earlier, right? They saw some of this in game 1 with the Marseille Bourgogne push down the 10 line. So they heavy pushed. It's almost like they're heavy pushing, trying to draw KSC into a position that they can then turn around and bring all these ships back and crush them.
That's right, yeah. I mean, what they're essentially doing is they're trying to multiply their ships, right? Because now KSC is going to run into the full strength of ELSR, and then once they get defeated, they just simply turn around, and ELSR then hits the other side of KSC.
Well, if I'm Well Done's Ohio, I'm probably already making this left turn, looking to go down this channel. He's about to realize that all these guys are coming back to kill him. And he's about to be in about a 6-on-1.
I think he's trying to get behind the Stalingrad right now.
Well, I think that's a mistake. Storm's Hydro has the Stalin locked up, and Pikachu's Vermont is just dunking him for 15, 20, 1,000 a salvo. And Well Done is not going to survive this experience, I don't think.
He's looking at the Montana.
Yeah, he's been looking at they've been chasing the Montana for a while, but my point is that I feel like that they should have brought Well Done here to threaten the Montana and then maybe turn him back down the channel, realizing that, these guys are coming back to focus him, because that's exactly what's happening, and there he goes.
That's right. Well, the radar from Storm came up a little bit too late, and therefore that valuable intelligence is missed.
Yep.
Now,
Admittedly,
Furious...
they don't know that, but go ahead.
Furious is Montana. The thing, Furious build on the Montana. The big thing about that is when you're on fire, your main battery loads quicker, and you're actually a little bit harder to hit. So it's kind of funny to see a ship like the Montana using that to its advantage. Usually we see St. Vincent or a Conqueror running that kind of a build.
Say Tsurugamo just absolutely showing no mercy here. Warped Chaos' Salem doing the same.
Oh, they know that they just have to get this, this Montana out.
They basically have to sell the farm to get this kill Zath, and they know it.
Meanwhile, look at the Gearing double Brizzy repush to A.
Yep. They've pushed so hard and so far, they have to secure this kill. And then it's like, okay, kill him, and then we'll figure out what happens next.
All the torpedoes coming into that smoke snail going to A now.
Yep. Hitaki's Hydro was up, so they should be okay. Quicksilver, yep, they're all going to be able to avoid them.
Well, there's another rack coming that Shogun, that Raiden might run into.
Yeah, but the timing on these is just not quite as good.
Yeah.
Now that's going to draw out Steven's radar. There it is. Raiden caught at the bottom of the A cap. They're about to get Bochi finally.
As you can see, the Marseilles have both turned around. Again.
Yes. Well, they can just continue to reposition. We're nearing the halfway mark of the match. It's about 170-ish point lead here for ELSR as they do lose
Quicksilver.
the Montana, but Quicksilver goes out right there. So I would say bad trade, but a trade nonetheless. If you're KSC, now Sate and the Salem have to try and figure out what to do as Luger and Misakura Stalingrad able to work on the B cap while they're farming out Pikachu's Vermont.
Yeah, this is I don't know how KSC can get back into this. I mean, they have to somehow get behind Rin.
I don't either.
While Pikachu lives, but there's the heal. Pikachu gets the heal off at least.
All right, well, he's got another few seconds to live then.
He's not quite dead.
Not dead yet.
He's getting better.
Happy. I feel happy.
He's about to go for a walk
again. Yeah.
There he goes.
He knows he's out. He gets one more salvo downrange in Misakura, but that's it.
Ooh, Storm hitting Luger pretty hard.
Yeah. And that final salvo hits Misakura pretty hard, but I don't think it's going to do KSC a lot of good. In less than 10 minutes, Double Marseille seems to have just locked this game up for ELSR. You know, in retrospect, Zath, how many of these games would be different had Marseille been banned?
Oh, yeah. Well, I have a feeling if KSC does revisit ELSR, in the grand finals, that Marseille's going to be banned every map.
we may find out, might we?
Luger on fire now. He's going to burn out, actually.
Yeah, they're going to lose Luger here, and it might. Again, I come back to we're kind of talking like we're writing KSC off. There are only 2 ships down, but their board control is basically non-existent, whereas ELSR is all focused up here, able to easily hold on to the A cap, make a strong play for the B cap. If you're KSC, I'm not sure how you figure this, how you get back in here. They're trying to farm out Misakura.
Rin is the key.
They could. Yeah, I think if they kill the Stalin, they've got a decent shot, maybe.
That's right. With the Marseilles being pulled out, although they're kind of just chilling in the channel, waiting for Warp Chaos to try to turn. Looks like Hu Tao has no more reload booster. Captain Caesar has 1 available in a minute.
Warp Chaos chewing through one of his crazy Salem heals here, weathering the HE fire, holding steady at about 20,000 HP.
Yep.
They do punch out the Stalingrad. KSC down only a ship and only 60 points. There's 8 minutes to play. They may have a way back in if they can keep ships on the board.
That's a big if, as Raiden now smokes up Itake's Brizzy, but there's the instant radar from Steven saying, nah, you're not going to have that one. You're not getting
St.
that.
Vincent, that St. Vincent AP looked like it overpinned Hitake right there. Hitake's Brisbane has 1 radar left, but it's nearly 2 minutes away, so they're not going to have an opportunity there to pick up the Delny. They do manage to punch out Warped Chaos back to about 170 point lead here. They needed to keep Warped on the board. not able to do it.
Yeah, Storm's in a tough spot with the Moskva because he has to come out and do something with these Marseilles, but at the same time, he can't show too much side or he just gets slapped.
Well, these Marseilles have just been absolutely running roughshod over KSC here. We saw it in game 1. You're looking at it again here in game 4. ELSR loving the speed, loving the maneuverability, and you almost get the sense that, you know, they planned out. Oh, Hatake gets punished there by the St. Vincent.
Mm-hmm.
You almost get the sense that they planned out the engine boost, right? Okay, you spawn, you engine boost. The engine boost will take you this far over to the other flank. Once we have completed that cap, hang out here for X number of seconds, shoot, fire, shoot, then speed boost back the other way. We're getting you back to mid as quick as we can. Like,
that's right.
You almost get the sense that they've spent some time in a training room working through that sequence of events.
Yeah, imagine practicing for King of the Sea. Amazing.
I mean, who knew, right? Why would you do such a thing with money on the line? That's crazy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. As Sate now runs into Hu Tao's Marsilli.
Oh, yeah.
I want to mention, too, that's, I think, the reason why we hear Putin calling the Marseille the Marsilli. Big hit there from the Moskva. Another AP salvo. Doesn't do much.
Sate's got the AP, had the AP in the barrel, swapping to the HE right there. Gonna see if he can get the second rack out maybe on Apex, but it's not gonna happen.
No, and that should do it for this game.
Pretty much should. I mean, KSC only has a couple of ships left, and Storm is in a position to threaten the B cap, but certainly not in a position to grab it.
No.
Raiden not in a position to do anything but just try and survive.
Yep, and Quincy's Delny is just chasing him down.
Oh yeah. That's not something the gearing can sustain forever. Delny's simply a faster hull. The gearing can avoid him for a while with the speed boost up, but once that disappears, no.
Yeah, look at little Buster's Harukumo just coming in. He's like, I'm just going to end this.
That's right.
The enemy is about to win.
Storm's had his Hydra up for a while. He knew Buster was there. Storm doesn't seem to care. He's determined to get this kill on Hu Tao. He's like, we're going to kill one of these Marseilles before this game ends.
Right.
Dang it. In fact, Buster's just going for the ram. He's not even going for the torpedo strike.
There's the
They
horns.
do manage to pick up the Marseille. Storm going to accept this ram with as intended, and there we go. ELSR claiming game 4 here. They remain the last undefeated team here on the North American bracket.
Yeah, quite a series going up to 4. KSC, of course, not out. Going down to the loser bracket, which we will be following momentarily.
Indeed.
What a crazy game here. I really do feel like ELSR coming into this with a very different playstyle set than perhaps KSC was prepared for. I mentioned earlier, KSC very good at changing around strategies and being flexible, but they're just not flexible enough, it seems.
Yeah. You know, do you remember last King of the Sea, Boggsy talking about Marseille and how he was super pumped about that ship, and he was kind of getting like the side eye from a couple of guys. I think maybe there's some folks now that owe him a bit of an apology. We'll see if he can extract that from him in the next few weeks. But for now,
What was it?